I'm going to start this tarot session with a piping hot take. Are you ready? It's time to set some boundaries with the person in your life that calls you lazy in any way, that regularly calls you lazy. Do you have one? Is it you? Because that shit needs to end. And it's not just because it's mean, but it's not true, you know? Like, have you ever, like, what is being lazy? I don't know. But as a healing people pleaser, and I feel like neurodivergent people have this self-image a lot that they're lazy because they didn't do things like other people when they were young. And I think that needs to end because it's just simply not true. I think when I was younger, I went through one healing phase where I in that wave, I stopped believing that I was lazy. But now I'm going through another wave, maybe like a deeper, like replacing that belief with something else. I noticed that belief will resurface when I'm not feeling good. So it's almost like when I'm not doing great and I'm speaking to myself in a rude way or hurting myself, it's like one of the first things, like, you're so lazy. And what the hell is that? I feel like if I extrapolate the conversation in my head into like the energy of the greater collective, I think it's akin to these old, outdated ways of thinking finally taking a shift in this world into something kinder, more compassionate, more empathetic, more like, what is it called? Teamwork going on, instead of like reprimanding each other for not growing on our terms or growing fast enough for us. Strength card. Do you know anyone that's really strong? I have a big circle, lots of big circles in my life, social circles. I feel blessed for that. But there's a couple people that come to mind when I think about very strong people. In pulling this card, it's almost like in my pissed vibe, I'm like talking to the cards and she's like, you're one of those people. And I do see myself that way. This wisdom that I spit, sometimes I'm not always able to embody it, but I am able to find a source within. And I feel like that came from healing these things and experiencing hardship. And when I think about these strong people that I know, I think the common denominator is that they all experienced some tremendous hardship in life that made them who they are. And when I frame it that way, I do see resilience that resulted in myself, a type of resilience that I didn't think was possible when I was young, from these things that I've been through, even things that are not huge or visible traumas, these smaller like ways I spoke to myself, beliefs I had, disconnection. I feel like all of it helps me double down on what I really believe and who I really want to be. I do find myself quite strong. Another topic that comes to mind right now is the seasons of friendships and relationships. Because I got a download today that was basically just a message telling me to trust your seasons. As I'm becoming stronger and more resilient, I'm not becoming less emotional. So this gift I have is still there, but there are seasons and I see them like summer and winter inside myself. And I see them globally, I see them abstractly, I see them literally, I see them in other people, and definitely in friendships and relationships. There's seasons where you're really close, seasons where you're not really involved with each other, seasons that you're maybe off sync and question things. And if I trust my seasons, then there is deep purpose in this fucking anger. Oops. I don't like that you cannot cuss on YouTube because I cuss like a sailor and I try not to in my content just out of respect for others, but I wish that it didn't matter. Cussing is a form of letting off steam. If you're watching this, I hope you remember how strong you are. I hope that when you're experiencing something unbearable, you can remember how strong you are and how strong you will be. I'm also thinking about how strong people are. Like, no matter what, we never give up our will to live and to keep growing. I got the Two of Pentacles. A card I don't get that often, but always comes at the right moment when I really need to hear it. And usually it's when I'm wilding out. I'm fine right now, but there have been other times where I was like, "Bleh!" And I pulled the card and it was like, correct perception of reality, time management, adaptability. It's also one of those cards where it took me a while to connect that meaning with the actual image, but now I do connect it. I feel like I have, wow, this does tie into the lazy and neurodivergent healing thing, but I had a interesting relationship with time management growing up. First of all, I was neuro-D, different from my family, I feel, and rebellious, like just naturally like rebellious in a way that got me in trouble. Like I definitely dabbled in everything they told you not to when you were a kid, just because I was like, okay, just because you told me not to, I have to see what that is, you know? I talk about this to my boyfriend a lot because he's more of the kid that like took the advice seriously and did what he was told in a good way. And like he's sometimes surprised at how innate the quality is in me to be oh, you liked it and unliked it? Okay, that's fair. He's surprised at how innate it is for me to be to just rebel, or I don't know. Yeah. And one of the things I rebelled against, because everyone tried to cure my problems with better time management practices. Here's like a timetable, here's this, here's that, like use a timer, this and that. And I was like, fuck your time management, bro. That's not the problem. I'm like doing what I want to do. So don't call me lazy just because I'm not doing what you want me to do. And I feel that on a global level right now. Like, it's perfect because this kind of matches my my reason for leaving America and moving to Vietnam too. Is like I don't fuck with the dream you're putting down. And I don't like when I want to do something else, you're going to try to tell me something negative about myself. Like, why can't I just be different? But correct perception of reality is kind of throwing me into a curveball because I'm like, okay, I know I can trust my emotions, but I also know that I developed a lot of beliefs from this healing experience that I'm not sure I really want to. Hi, viewer. Toss a question in the chat if you have any. But yeah, I know that I experienced some things that created beliefs that I also don't want. And I'm going to openly admit this online and start doing it more often. I feel like I'm healing from things from colonization and capitalism that everybody's healing from, whether they agree with me or not. And so when I say I'm healing, I don't really see myself as someone that like bad shit happened to me. That I think like it's a group healing going on, a collective thing. And if you're not really up to speed with that, you're kind of closing your eyes on something. But keeping that in mind, I know from my past and my own emotions right now that there's definitely some resentment there from like me trying to subscribe my whole early life and then later learning that a lot of things weren't right for me. A lot of things were rooted in colonial lies and stuff. And so I think that now that I'm in this safe place of healing for like several years and like kind of defined my own way of living here and worked through some issues so I didn't carry them with me to my new life. I think now it's like safe for these feelings to come up. And so sometimes shit doesn't even like happen that matches it, but I feel the emotions that I kept bottled up for years and years since I was young and thought it was normal to just keep bottling that shit up and like, but no, it doesn't. It's like actually real. Like emotions are actual chemical reactions and physical things happening inside your body. And I read this statistic where a huge percentage of health problems in women and autoimmune disorders come from repressing emotion. So this is cool that I'm doing this now because I also feel that I feel some shame around the big emotions, and I can see myself masking when I have them sometimes to be like the lighter, happier version of me that people might expect. And I'm trying to make a shift right now instead of like reacting and lashing out or like spiraling in a way, and instead creating. And so that's why I'm pulling tarot while pissed. Yeah, usually when I'm angry, I'm like, well, I can't work, I can't do this, I can't talk to you, I can't hang. But let's try anyway, because I believe that there's a place for this emotion. And I believe that we as humanity cannot keep repressing that shit anymore. Like, I also was a bit, oh my God, 2 people. Tom, sup? Oh my gosh, happy you're here. How are you? I'm like ranting. I'm tarot ranting. I'm pissed ranting and reflecting off like where that comes from and then pulling the cards and talking to it about it and being like, oh yeah. How are you? And how is the other person, whoever you are? This is so exciting for me because usually it's just me. But yeah, back to what I was thinking. I'm excited because maybe like if you can if I could like share with you what it's like right before I started this, bottling up anger is never a good idea. Just got to find healthy ways of working through that. Aw, can I pray for you? I believe you fight your inner self. I can relate because been there, done that. I surrendered myself to Lord Jesus Christ on 2017 and it changed a lot. Wow, 2017. Okay, a long time ago. Yeah, please. I Yeah, I do. I would say I battle my inner self. And I feel like the battle that I go through is very reflected in my life externally. And right now, the external is great. And that's why I think I'm noticing it more because it's been through so many changes over the years. But I don't know. I don't know that it will ever go away how I feel, if that makes sense. But finding healthy ways to get through it, definitely doing that. I feel like it's also like an expression thing because I don't think I'm afraid to express it, but sometimes when I do, it doesn't like, I don't know. Yeah, I have guilt about it. But what is that? Do I just need to scream in an empty room? But yeah, another thing though is figuring out how to unplug while also doing social media or like moving down a life where you know you're going to use technology a lot. That is hard for me. Like also hoping that others unplug and hoping to inspire them to, but then like hopping on a live stream and all this being here. There are beautiful things that come from it, but then I'm like, what happened to like, I don't know, just like offline connection? How are you guys though? How are you feeling? Are you feeling good today? Yeah. Another thing I was thinking about too is like, okay, social media is difficult for me to like not take in all the stimuli, but I'm committed to doing it. And I believe in my ability to like use it in a way that doesn't overwhelm me. But there's that. And there's also, what would it be called? Keeping up with the news or keeping up with other things in the world, which is something that I value a lot and I care about. But sometimes it is hard to be a part of that and care without like letting so much in that you can't anymore, if that makes sense. And I feel like that's what I'm running into. It's like, okay, life is secure, life is good. I'm happy with what I've built in my personal relationships. When I watch stuff on the news from back home, I don't know, I feel so like sad for my family there, even though like that's not how they feel for themselves. And yeah, there's a sense of like maybe letting go the part of myself that uh, subscribed to those older things that didn't work for me anymore. I'm okay. I feel like anger is often repressed societally through shame. Yeah, that is so true. Especially for Vietnamese people. We we kind of love shame in a like weird like what's it called? Stockholm syndrome way. This Sunday, try going to the local church in your area. Also, I felt promptly the Holy Spirit told me let go the tarot card. But how do you know I'm not already connected to Jesus? This is so funny because like I've been live streaming with my friends and they always block people who try to wake other people up to their relationship to God, but I'm not personally offended by it. I think it's fine. I know other people get offended by it, but maybe it's because I also consider myself religious, even though I'm Buddhist. But I do go to church. I go to church with my friends who are Catholic, and I love it. I think it's cute. But I'll tell ya, even if I went to church every day, I'm pretty sure I would still be an emotional human. And I would still be very involved in my own healing process. But I appreciate you watching the live of tarot, even if you don't like mess with it. And I will pull you a card as you pray for me. Sam Salu. Oh, wait, this kind of relates to your message. Oh, same comment. 10 of Cups. Sorry. Harmony, alignment with reality, discovery of the nature of the mind, divine love. The cards be picking up on what you're putting down. Even if you don't pick up on what the cards put down, they like what you're saying. But let me pull one for you too, Tom. The Star. Finding one's place in the world. Where is it? She who created the practice of Chod, which symbolizes victory over one's demons. It incites one to act and find one's place in the world. Acting in reality. Okay, this is cool. Altruism, purification of the world, spiritual protection, fortune, harmony with nature, truthfulness, awareness. Both of your cards had some like a better relationship to reality than the one I pulled, which I love the progression. I think it was correct perception of reality, and then 10 of Cups. Correct perception of reality, and then alignment with reality, which I feel like is like a step closer, and then yours, acting in reality, altruism. And I feel like it relates to everything I was saying because when I have this inner battle of beliefs going at each other, the actual harm going on is one thing, but I feel like generally I identify with a version of myself that is kind to myself, you know? But I think why I'm interested in continuing to eradicate all limiting beliefs, even though that might not be possible as a human, but it's an ideal that I reach for. I think I do just because it's real. It's more aligned with reality than believing you're lazy or stupid or having a negative belief about yourself. You know what I mean? Because, like, I don't know, even on a societal level where that shame and anger comes, I feel like it's the product of lies that like we as all people believe together. Ooh, Meej, you've been super consistent. Keep going. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. I like, that speaks volumes to somebody who's like posting to nothing. I have no shame about posting to no one, but it's just hard to like keep going and actually be consistent when nobody's answering much. But now you guys are here, so I always encourage people around me to play sports more. I find it such a healthy and measured way of letting out my anger. I love that. I like my boyfriend is really into sports too, and he has me like trying shit out for that, especially like martial arts. It's obviously like really great. And I think I do need to get into it because like all the sports I played growing up were like endurance and long distance. And that was cool too in terms of like a cathartic feeling with the pain. But I don't know. Something faster paced. Like I played volleyball the other day and I can totally see how like if I was angry, that would be such a fun way to let it out. All right. I'll try it. I'll try it next time. And I'll try church too. But like church already helps me. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh. Try the Christian church. Okay. Why? Like, why that over the other one? Because, I also went to, oh, and go alone. Okay, you know what? That might be the kicker. This might be like bougie of me, but I kind of like it when it's like a nice church that's got like a choir and stuff, because then you can really get into it. Because here, I live in Vietnam. I don't know if you know that. I can speak Vietnamese, but when I go in the services in Vietnamese, it's kind of like hard for me to keep up. Wait, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try for sure. That's so funny because my like my friends are always like hella annoyed with people on their page trying to spread like God's love, and I'm like, why? Don't let it get to me. Spread it to me. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking? And is your family Christian, or did you discover it just on your own? And how come I can't go to church and practice the cards? Can I practice the cards at church? Or is that like hella rude? Yeah, I'm very much a practitioner of both. Like I was saying earlier in this live, I'm rebellious, but I'm also emotional. So like I'm very attracted to religion and spirituality and art and everything that's kind of like otherworldly. But then when the second they start to like give me rules, I'm like, what if I break that and listen to you though? What then? Like just out of curiosity, what then? Like what if I'm able to like do it? Imagine ordering hot iced tea. You cannot do both. I actually get what you mean by that. And then I get what you mean. And this weirdly relates to the shit I was yapping about at the beginning of like things I had to heal from like being a more neurodivergent person, being given neurotypical advice. And I feel like that's one of them, which is like, pick one, hot tea or iced tea, which one you want. And it's like, what if I can't have both? But with reasonable doubt, like I appreciate your input because I think you're onto something too. Like maybe it's more a matter of like truly switching when you want to have both. Try Google keyword lukewarm. We cannot serve two masters. I will. I will, just because, yeah, I'm curious, but like, we'll see. You know what this is making me think of, though? Are you back in America? Wait, are we homies? Because I don't know from your username. Arc. Are you back in America? No, no, never. I'm here in Vietnam. I think as soon as I can, I'll go back to visit. But I don't think I'm going back to live. Isn't that crazy? I'm just a subscriber. That's even better. Not that, you know, I love my homies, but I don't want to force them to like be interested in what I put online. Like having a soulmate, just one for life. See, that's where you lose me. Like one for life for me and you, monogamous people. But what about like the billions of other people that like it's like two for life, or like they're not about that. And I feel like regarding soulmates, I don't know, some of my friends are soulmates. Like I feel like just because you're not romantically involved doesn't mean, I don't know. And then that's where the beliefs diverge and stuff. Okay, Meej. One thing that I realized when clearing out my closet, my wardrobe is horrendous for hot weather. I assume being from Cali, this wasn't an issue for you. I love that question because I feel like you're like actually making it happen, which is cool. And you're right. It wasn't an issue for me. If anything, like I struggled traveling anywhere else because I don't have warm clothes or cold clothes. But you should be fine. I mean, I imagine going the other direction is easier of not having to bring like a coat and stuff. Horrendous for hot weather. Yeah, and then you'll just have to buy some stuff. But then maybe you can use this as like a dope time to reinvent yourself. Cause like cold weather to warm weather clothes is so different and fun. And honestly, you should probably wait until you're here. It's like cheaper and more fun and lots of cool shops. So maybe just get like some stuff. You don't have to bring like everything that you need. You know, honestly, if I could give advice for someone making that transition, it would be like, don't bring your whole life. Everyone tries to do that. And then when you come here, you're like, why did I do that when I can get a better quality tweezer or whatever, like down the street or on Lazada? So I would, if I could switch, I would have just like packed a normal like 2-week trip level, maybe all my favorite stuff that I want to come. But then even then you can't fit everything. So I needed like multiple trips. And then yeah, I went shopping so much. I'm quite fussy about what I wear and I only really shop in person still. And I will cry leaving behind all my thrifted wares. Aww. Well, bring them because you know it's only warm. There are cold parts of Vietnam too. Even the north is colder, and then like they have like more seasons. So I went to Dalat on a trip once, and it wasn't even dead of winter. It was like around like getting closer to spring, and I was so cold. So there will be a place for them. And then now that I'm getting used to it, now there are some events and stuff that I go to where I kind of wish I had some jackets, but I just don't because it's so hot. And so you'll find a place for it, but you do need something. You're going to sweat so much. So you'll never move back to America. Yeah, pretty much never. Okay. I'm glad you're holding me accountable. I'm going to post a video tonight. That's just, it was supposed to be a video reflecting on my past 3 years and leading up to now, but it ended up just being like another video of me explaining like why I left and what I had going on and then coming here. And in it, I reflected again, like, yeah, I don't think I'm going back, like at this point. And also looking at the past and how I made those decisions. What would have to change? Like, I would be fully financially free and wealthy in any country I went to, then I would go back. But like, it's possible. I'm gunning for that. But like, I feel like I would still have a home base here now, just because like I've become Vietnamese. Argu 3. Arc. I respect it. Are you thinking of coming out here too? Because Tom is. And you know, it's funny because like I started social media to push myself to make art and make all my dreams come true. But like, I feel like the videos that are doing well and the stuff is more about like my journey back to Vietnam and the motherland. And I think at the beginning I was kind of like, huh, why? Just because it was like such an easy decision for me to make. But now I'm like, okay, maybe like this is a part of my story that is like, I don't know, this is going to be like how I meet a lot of people and build my people online. Because, yeah, I didn't plan on talking about it so much, but a lot of the videos do relate to that, and a lot of my art relates to it too. So no, people told me North Vietnam was cold. They lied. I was still so hot. My bad, I just lied again. But I used to live in Scandinavia, so maybe I am just not conditioned right. Ooh, yeah, I mean, that sounds cold. Maybe if my trading journey goes well, I got to make money online first. Dude, I feel that. But just to plant a seed of doubt, I thought the same thing. And then like a lot of things happened that made me pull trig anyway. And it was way better for me to build wealth from here than like, but I am Vietnamese, so there are some things about it. I can see how it might not be that easy. Like, are you here from Shu's channel? I have a friend named Shu that people come from. And I'm always amazed at how he can commit to the lifestyle without actually being like Vietnamese or Southeast Asian. But he loves it. And I think I would be like this too, even if I wasn't Vietnamese, just because I like being warm. The convenience doesn't make me complacent in life, you know? But do what you got to do. I find that it's also different when I talk to men about this than women. I think maybe just that provider stuff, like the programming of having to make wealth a certain way makes it a little hard. But basically, okay, I'm going to tell the details. I had a life coach around the time that I was making these decisions. I came from Shu's channel. Shu, I'm gonna shout him out. But yeah, I had a life coach when I was making these decisions, or like just trying to figure out what my goal was and stuff. And at the time, I was like, art. I want to be an artist and da 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 da. And then I was traveling a lot and seeing like different sides of myself when I traveled. And so then I told my life coach, hey, I think I want to move somewhere and become an artist there because I think it will be easier for me to just like build my identity the way I want and like heal and live life on my terms. And then she was like, okay, when? And I was like, I think I have to wait until I'm more like financially stable. And she was like, okay. And then the next assignment was to define what that meant for me and put a number to it. Like if it's a number, like what is it? And I remember just being like, well, I don't know, but I know I'll work when I get there. So I think I'll just like, I think 5K in my checkings and 20K in my savings will make me feel secure. And then she was like, okay, now go see how much you have. And when I like calculated it all, it turns out I had that because I had traded some things in my Roth IRA and it grew a lot that year. It was so random and witchy because I did not expect that. The last time I checked it, it was not that much. But by then I had like 40K in my savings, starting from 5K, you guys. But anyways, that's a whole other video. But yeah. And so then when I checked it, I was like, what? I literally have more than that. I could go now. And then she was like, are you ready? And I was like, fuck, I guess I'll do it, but I'm scared. And then I just bought the ticket and did it. And I never found like a job or something that could pay me and keep building the wealth. But now I'm onto something like with my friends and partner and social media and stuff. So it did work out in a sense, but yeah, just a fun story. Financials are one of the main reasons I won't live in London much longer. It's impossible to save, and you cannot find a place in my area near my social circles for less than 1.2 miles. Silly stuff. That was how I felt in California. Like, I don't like to drive either. Like, I can do it, but I don't love it. And then in California, it's like you have to drive at least 40 minutes to like go somewhere else. It's really motivating hearing that. Yay, I'm glad it is. I'm glad. Yeah, because it's a personal story, but I tell it a lot because I don't know, it was a cool moment where these abstract fears became not abstract, and then I stopped being scared of it. So like sometimes when people tell me, oh, I want to come live there, but like the finances, I'm like, have you defined the number? Because maybe it won't be like me, but maybe when you define it, you'll have like more of a plan, you know? 1.2 million. 1.2 million. Is that your number? Wait. Oh, 1.2 miles. Oh, what? You cannot find a place in my area near my social circles for less than 1.2 million. Were you a trader too? No, but my dad kind of does lightly. And when I was younger, he was like this or that, like this or that, this or that. I'd be like this one, that one. I didn't know what I was doing, you know? And I also didn't really care. And I'm really glad that he put me onto it and like kind of forced me because, yeah, what the hell? I got lucky. And I'm also kind of like, I'm glad that he did that in my Roth IRA. So I can't use it now because I probably would have like pulled that out or something to like move here. And that would have been fine too. But I want to learn more though. Like I was talking to my boyfriend about that. I feel like, I don't know. That's a big thing that I didn't get into that in some silly way I feel like I would be like good at or at least like it. But maybe I should plan that in. And maybe that would help with like manifesting my wealth to like start having a plan for where I'm going to put it all. I have a loose plan and it's very abstract, but I could do like a next chapter plan. For example, me and Anne say we want to travel a lot when we reach certain financial goals. But ever since my like last time I went to America and Europe, like 2 years ago, I haven't really like dreamed of traveling because I'm like, oh, I want it to be like another level when I do it again. But now could be a cool time to like open up those like plans and desires again. I want to go to Istanbul. Like that's somewhere I've always wanted to go and I've never been. I feel that you can do anything you want to. Yeah, you can. And it's a touchy topic, even with myself sometimes, but I'm trying to be even more limitless. Yeah. And wait, thanks for telling me I was consistent, because like today I did it pissed, as I put on the thumbnail, and it's giving me some really cool insights and like making me less afraid to just yap, you know? So I feel like that's like a form of limitlessness, because I feel like, yeah, instead of transmuting the anger into shame or like things that don't help me, we're like transmuting it into like a great conversation with you guys. Europe is in general designed for public transport, so travel in the city is never a concern. Oh, that's nice. But yeah, where I live, the house prices are so stupid. The house price to income ratio is around 30. Ooh, that's rough. I did go to London once and I loved it. I didn't even do anything. I just loved like being on the streets and hearing everyone's British accent, being like, oh my God, I feel like I feel like a little lad. You're welcome. Keep going. Thank you. You too. And you should hit us up when you come over, or like later on if your journey comes here, because we actually hang out with people and it's been so fun to meet the network. Wait, did I pull you a card, Ark? Did I pull you a card? I don't know, but I'll do it again. Ooh, the Chariot. This is a good one. It's screaming success. Where is it? Chariot. The Tibetan dragon is a creature of great power, the male yang energy principle, leading to success, energy, and creativity. Victory, success, successful venture. Can you see? Strength gained, strong energy, consideration, dynamism. I love it. That's actually like what I feel over the course of this live. I feel strength gained, strong energy, dynamism, success in some way. Does that resonate for you? I hope it does. I'm thinking more about what you said, Tom, about how societally we repress anger with shame. Because, like, it's making me think of an art piece I want to make. Because I feel like that, wait, I don't know if you guys are white or not, but like, as not all ethnic people are passionate, but I feel like Vietnamese people, it's like one of our things to be very emotional, and it is the best thing about us, in my opinion. But you know, it has its shadows, like everything else, and transmuting or repressing anger into shame, I feel like it's one of like the big like things that I'm down to rewrite in our culture. And so I'm thinking of this art piece that kind of does that for me. But it would be crazy. It would come from a rageful place, which sounds really fun. I'm already like excited thinking about it. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm having a lot of breakthroughs because of you guys. Thank you. I think I have this thing. I mean, so I'm working on my brand with a few others. I've been doing it for a while, but then as I meet friends here and then we collaborate and stuff, sometimes we pay each other for work. Sometimes we just do certain things like projects. And we were trying to like just do more of the branding for Meej World as like a North Star for everyone that I work with or that works for me or that I pay for something, so that like, I don't know, just build the brand a bit more. And one thing we've been using is create from a good feeling. Angry art is often beautiful. My ex who did art would often say Medea was her muse, which I found quite amusing. Huh. I'm looking it up. Ah. Interesting. But yeah, I was saying create from a good feeling kind of became one of our North Stars. And the reason for that is because it was more about not working from survival mode than it is you have to have only good feelings, if that makes sense. Because sometimes we'd get stressed or we'd be like, let's just do this for the money, or like, let's just do. And I was like, as an art brand and also as a person with my values, I feel like the art can't be created if it's from that place, because we're trying to like free ourselves from that. For example, I consider myself someone, I feel like my commitment to Vietnam and my life here and staying here came from me not leaving America to escape my problems, but just choosing to confront them in a different setting. And so in that way, whatever I do here, I want it to make me freer. I don't want it to like, so one thing for me personally, I want to be an entrepreneur. I don't want to work for anyone else. I don't want to compromise my values, especially creatively. I never want to like be someone's creative bitch or like do something that I think sends a harmful message in any way just because it's going to make me a lot more money, or like not speak up about what I believe in to make more money. Like all of that like is the reason that I wanted to build a brand and be an artist and do things this way. So as a requirement for that, when I'm working with myself or my team, I want it to come from that place and always make sure like we're becoming freer, right? We're not like pushing forward with old ways that don't work because we want to create something new. But somewhere too, like another layer to that came out, because then when I had a hard week last week, I felt like a bit capped on being able to create and share that with people, because I was like, I've kind of promoted like a different feeling, but I think that we're just getting into the deeper layers, because I'm very pro like all emotions, all thoughts. Like I think like I don't want create from a good feeling to be something where I have to feel good all the time to create. But I also want to make sure I'm creating what I want to create. So this art piece that you gave me the idea for is a really cool thing that I want to pursue, because then that's going to bring that into my brand and allow me to express that side of myself and be a little bit more authentic with it. Because like I would say I'm more light feminine than dark, but there's definitely a dark side, and yeah, I don't want to have to hide it. It would feel really good to just like express it every time. You guys are great. I love that you just let me like, yeah. Right now, I wasn't gonna live stream before, but my boyfriend kind of convinced me, because he was like, I don't know, it's different than editing. You just like express and then it's done, it's posted, whatever. And I thought I wouldn't like that because I like the creative part of editing, but I actually love this too. This is different. This feels like a different art. Big Papa Death. Big Papa Death card. Artistic expression versus commercial success seems to be the eternal struggle for artists. Oh my gosh. You're such a wise person. I feel like you really understand. uh yeah. Yeah. I think I always wonder, is it about artistic expression and our things with that, or is it about money? Because like, yeah, I know I'm an artist, I create blah blah blah, but then I feel like bringing in money or getting paid for what you naturally do, there's something to that like brings in a struggle. I guess that's what commercial success is. Yeah. Yeah, it is. And I think, huh, I think when I lean into my art, like the soul of where my artistry comes from, I know that that shit does not matter to me in the slightest. But then when I'm existing in this world trying to manifest things, it becomes the next step for some reason. And then it becomes like, I want to do it to show that I can do it to myself, like, and not do it and not show that I can just do something I don't want to do, but show that I can make something I don't like into something I want to do. Whoa, I'm having so many breakthroughs from this. I fucking love you guys. Am I allowed to cuss on YouTube? I like can't tell if that's gonna like get my videos flagged or not. The death card is giving me, the first time I came upon the death card, I was enthralled because I was reading this other book that was explaining to me womanly like insights in a way that I had never really verbalized before, but I always felt was true. It's called Women Who Run with Wolves. And in that book, she brought up the metaphor of life and death as an innate, like, feminine knowing and relation to natural life that we all have, but we lose touch to. It's kind of like how life, like, everything breathes. There's like an exhale and an inhale. There's a life and there's a death. There's a summer and a winter, and these paradoxes. And that the book was teaching me that a rite of passage for every woman is actually learning the theme of life and death in a like really internal way and providing that relationship to life for yourself and for others, as like, if that makes sense, because endings and death is hard for us before we understand it as a natural part of life. And so when I first got the death card was after that book, and I was like, yeah, death, let it die. Death of my old self, death of these beliefs death of things that don't work anymore, like old relationships, old jobs, things I was grateful for, but it's okay to let you die now. And then many death cards later, it always gave me a little comfort in the sense of like, even when I was struggling through an ending of some sort, or I didn't want to let go, I was like, death brings new beginnings, and I will not get to experience that if I don't let this go. And so that was about 2 years ago. And I think 2 years of that, and now I'm finally coming to a part of my own life cycle in which now it does make me a little melancholic again. And not in a way that I have an issue with. I'm comfortable with the anger and the sadness, but I'm like, whoa, it's like poignant. It's like time is passing and it's beautiful, but I can't keep any of it and it doesn't belong to me and I belong to nothing and I am just a vessel in this universe. In quite a sad way, I have often found that artists in their least happy periods create their most profound art, and often the success makes their later art more tepid. Wait, that's so true. I feel like, oh my God, that's so true. I mean, the first that comes to mind for me is Frank Ocean. But it's not like he's happy now. Maybe Kid Cudi or Adele. Like, it's like, girl, we need you to be brokenhearted again because those bangers were way better. Wait, you're giving me another insight. Okay. That's cool. Wait. That can be kind of like my silver lining. Because, okay, I want to make sure I'm representing myself correctly when I say I'm like an emotional person. Because it is genuinely what I think my superpower is and my favorite thing about myself. But the hard part of it is like, you know, you don't always get to experience positive emotions. There's negative ones too. So my journey has been about accepting that and not numbing it out and like using it how it's supposed to be used to create dreams and miracles and stuff. And I feel like that's also why I'm an artist, because of these like strong emotions. And then I think about what you're saying too, as an artist and a person who loves other people's art and being like, whoa, why was it so good when you were like frigged? And maybe that's my silver lining with the whole idea behind like having to accept that I will always experience the full spectrum of emotions and that this is something that I want to be grateful for because it makes me who I am. Maybe it's very connected to my art journey in the sense that even in a great chapter like the one I'm living, I can still channel these terrible feelings and not like on purpose, but like I feel them already because I like am like that. And instead of like letting it out or suppressing it, letting it out in an unhealthy way or suppressing it, creating from it, creating from all feelings. I know it's not revolutionary, but like how I relate to those concepts is like big for me. Oh, wait, this is cool. This is gonna like now I'm visualizing a version of myself that runs to the studio the second I get upset, which is like who I want to be essentially. I don't want to be like someone who never gets upset, and I don't want to be someone who forces myself to produce work when I don't feel it. Like I think like I don't know, I think there can be a good balance where I like create the feeling of wanting to but also channel like what I have going on and what the world has going on up there. Yeah, Adele could work. Frank just stopped putting stuff out, no? Did he? I always find like random, like unreleased stuff from Frank on YouTube. I don't know if it's real, but like I feel like he's always producing. Oh, that would no, I need some more from him. He can't stop. Oh my gosh. Wait, Tom, I kind of had the assumption that you were in high school. Are you in college? Finishing up lit? Oh, wait, yeah. You don't study, you don't have a major in high school. Okay, that makes so much more sense. Not that, you know, you couldn't be 18 and spit in these bars of truth, but just wondering. um, it's funny because I meet a lot of people out here that are so cool and polished and have their personality like showing in every way. And then I'm like, oh, like how old are you and stuff? 19, 20. 18. I'm like, what? I was not looking or acting like that when I was 18. I think something about being out here and like the age group of people that hang out is like way wider than in America. Instead of like around your same age, I feel like my social sphere goes from like 18 or children really 18 to like 45. And we're all like in the same chapter of life. We're all like trying to build wealth, find ourselves, find love, like figure out where we want to live. It's so weird. And then in America, I feel like a 25-year-old could be living at their parents' place and learning how to drive, or they could be like 5 kids in. It's so random. I think it has the same name in the US. No, oh yeah. Masters. That's right. It does. Oh, when are you done? Is it this year? Is that why you're already thinking about your wardrobe? Death of the me that reacts to my emotions. Well, yeah, reacts to my emotions in a way that doesn't help me. I have found that too. When younger people seem to have it more together than me, I can't help but feel a tad bit like a fossil. Huh. I love kids and I love Gen Z. I feel like a fossil when they're saying stuff or like it's like the new lingo that I can't keep up with. Or no, it's like when they're like vibing on TikTok, like when I make content with them, they're such like naturals at spewing out this energy and I feel like a fossil. I like can't find the button on the live stream to do anything. Oh my God, that's gonna be so cool. Done this summer. Shit. I'm so excited for you. Vietnam is raining a lot these days for some reason because I thought rainy season was supposed to be over. So, but at least it won't be cold like the rain is in London. Huh. Let me see. I'm going to ask the cards a specific question. Like, and I think I want it to be about the piece that you inspired me to do, the angry art. What is this angry art piece going to bring into my life? Oh shit. Self-love, meeting a guru, karmic attraction. Oh, wow. Wait, let me read it. 2 of Cups. Meeting a guru, unity, karmic attraction, self-love. Bish. I'm so excited about that because, oh my God. Wait, Tom, you're a genius. Okay. I have always been perplexed by this card because the visuals do give me what I read. Meeting a guru, unity, karmic attraction, self-love. And it's giving like what it looks like to me, like this spiritual journey, very similar to mine, probably everyone's. But karmic attraction, I thought was an interesting word to throw into that because how I've grown to learn about that concept, in a spiritual term, I heard that it was like a karmic attraction is also kind of like a toxic relationship, either with a person or a thing, where they call that attraction that you have to something toxic karmic because it's something that your soul needs to learn, a lesson your soul needs to like learn what it needs to know or something. So for me, I have had toxic relationships before. And so that was when I first came up with on the word, where it was like, okay, you guys have a karmic attraction where both of your souls actually need to learn a lesson, and you're not meant to like, I don't know if it literally ever said you're not meant to end up together, but you're meant to learn the lesson together is the goal of the point of that relationship, especially if it's super problematic. But I also like when I read tarot for others, we use it in a way that's not just with a person. It's like whatever difficult lessons you had to learn in life, you were karmically attracted to them. It's like a way to like rationalize and understand the things you went through. But when I pulled this card in the past, I always saw that part and I was like, okay, yeah, it's the spiritual journey, like everything. But now it's really clicking for me because it's almost like integration. Now it like I'm taking it out of the context of a karmic attraction with another person and like more into the hard lessons that I had to learn in my own lane through those things. So like my journey towards self-love and independence and healing. And now I feel like it's healing this part of the relationship with myself, a part that really still is punishing myself for being who I am, which is having these big emotions, which is like honestly my favorite thing about myself. So that doesn't, and so me asking what this angry art piece is going to bring into my life, unity, meeting a guru, karmic attraction, self-love, it really reads for me because I feel like this is me continuing that healing and continuing my journey without needing another like toxic relationship to show me like, okay, self-love is important and like lessons have to be learned the hard way. Like I feel that the angry art is going to be maybe learning how to produce in that state might be uncomfortable at first, but what it's going to give me is like that like true relationship with myself that I think the whole dream of being an artist really is. It's like I really just want to be the one for myself. I want to like really fall in love with myself and give myself everything I deserve and just know my worth so much that it doesn't matter, so that me and myself can go and fight evil and fight for freedom. And we have the bandwidth to be a good girlfriend and a good friend and I don't know, put my stuff out there online and like let all the things in that I want and know that the things that I don't want don't have to affect me. Like that is what all of this is for. This was the best damn tarot reading I've done like since I started streaming them. London is 99% rain. It's kosher. That's funny. It was raining the whole time I went there. But I still had fun. But I feel like that might depress me after a while. Just like, I'm sure it's hard. That's such a cool way of thinking about it as karmic attraction. Never thought of it like that. Oh, cool. As a lit major, did you have a different perspective of it? Or have you heard of that term before? I shared that idea with my best friend who is not as spiritual as me. Or it wasn't just her. I've shared the idea before and people have had some interesting reactions to it. Yeah. I don't know why, but for me, it helps me to think of things I experienced as karmic attractions because I don't know, I find that deeper meaning makes me like more whimsical about life instead of more hopeless and desolate. But I can see how it's not the same for everyone. Just like our friend, our Jesus friend who didn't wants me to go to church instead of pulling cards. Dang, I need to write that down. Oh, this is cute. I feel like we're like creatively co-working together. That would be another live stream. Like later when I'm bigger, I wonder about that, like like artists co-working live stream where I just stream and do art, and sometimes I don't talk, but then sometimes I talk to the chat, and hopefully everyone's like, I feel like you don't have to create art, but just like creating or working on something you want to work on, even if it's like where you're going to move and live and stuff. What do you guys think, you two lovely people watching me? Do you think that I should just do tarot on my come up just to be consistent? Because I feel like it's easy for me. Or should I like do something else? Like, you know, because like when I started, I was gonna paint, but then I was like, it's not that exciting, you know? Like it's not like the reels you see. It's just me staring at that for like an hour and not saying anything. So I felt like it wasn't, I don't know, like who would watch it. But then I also feel like people will watch whatever you put up. So I know it's up to me, but your input as my two people is welcome. No, not really. Not at all, actually. Yeah. Do you have any karmic attractions right now? I feel like I've shared mine through this whole life. Is like my own. Mine is internal now, which like I'm proud of, because like, yeah, I don't know. I've come a long way. Aw. Who would likely stay for you, and the other stuff is in the background. Interesting. Okay. I guess I'll have to experiment. Okay. I need to write that down though. Hmm. I'm writing. Rage, suppressed, can be shame. So what is rage expressed? Art? Express. Freedom? I heard that rage is a message that your boundaries are being crossed. Maybe it's security too, or protection in an interesting way. Oh, I feel like, yeah, rage expressed is protection. power. And then rage transmuted will be what we do. I feel like we transmuted things on this live too. Art. Oh my God. Oh my God. I feel like if I actually made art from this place, it would probably get so big in the sense of like polarizing, like, you know, that thing where like, do you know the law of polarization? Which is supposed to be like one of the universal laws that attract things. And so that's supposed to be why if you have kind of a polarizing view or a polarizing trait of your personality and you lead with it, you will become famous, because you get a lot of people who really love you for that, and you get a lot of people who really hate you for that or something. And like a lot of great people are polarizing in that way. Or yeah, I feel like focusing on like this is going to bring out my polarity. And I want to, because I feel like I'll feel like more expressed. I'll feel like, I don't know, I want to open my throat chakra artistically more. I feel like pretty good about expressing myself verbally, but sometimes I feel like it's not enough, you know? Like I want to leave a lasting impact about this feeling. Transmuted art. Wow, I'm writing, let the karmic attraction with yourself die. And I'm feeling like this is what it took to learn that these emotions make you who you are. Death card. And then angry art will bring me closer to myself. Angry art equals self-love. Wow. I don't know about you, but these are cutting edge ideas for my art. And like, I'm so excited. Agreeability has always stunted my peers who have it in abundance. Huh. I feel fortunate that as a guy, I have never been socialized into seeing it as such a strong must to have in myself. Huh. I like you, Tom. You're so interesting. Agreeability has always stunted my peers who have it in abundance. Oh. Do you think they're naturally like that? Or do you think like they're like that because they were stunted by it and so they were like giving in to the pressure to be liked? It is definitely a thing that girls are taught. Yeah. And yeah, that's where all this rage comes from. This primordial rage is just like freaking, we're not little fairies all the time. Hmm. Ooh. Ooh. That's making me think about what disagreeable parts of myself, what other disagreeable parts of myself can I express artistically? I am certain that it is social conditioning. Yeah. English lit is 90 to 10 women. Oh, men split at an undergrad level and it slowly levels out to even at PhD level. Huh. That's interesting. I guess I didn't see that coming. I don't know why. It's nice though that you understand that. Yeah, I think yeah, I think a lot of men know that, but it must be hard to keep it in mind when you're like deeply interacting with a woman. Ew. I want to uncondition it. I want to be difficult. Oh my god, it's raining so much. It just started raining a lot. Guess I'm stuck here for the next few hours. Hmm. I have another question for you. I mean, you already said you think people would stay for me. I know that's true. But just as a survey, is there a type of video that you would like to see? Not from me, but maybe like what else do you watch on YouTube? When I run seminars, I make it a rule that people, once they have made their point, cannot apologize or rescind it. Ooh. They must argue it until they concede they are wrong. Whoa, that's cool. Huh, that's cool. And what if they're unsure about something? Mainly travel stuff, mini documentaries, uni lectures. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Um, I have so many, like, I have a lot of travel stuff. Hmm. Yeah. Basically, where I'm at is I recorded this whole year, which is cool. But then now I have like tons of recordings, and I'm like, do I just post them raw or should I narrate each one? Or, and then should I talk about my art every time? Probably not. I just like post whatever. And then like the people who are really interested in getting to know me will probably develop a better, like, a more interactive relationship anyway. Okay. That's a cool thing though that you said, because I think that that's something I kind of could address now. Maybe like, yeah, I do over apologize only sometimes when I'm like in this weird apologetic mode. That's a good one. Oh my gosh. Okay. You're my consultant because you're right. You're right. I should flex it, especially if I'm an artist too, because like, yeah, that might be something that like an opportunity might come from that. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. So I mean, I'm working on, I have a lot of friends who are also building brands and stuff. And then when you kind of do it, you ask everyone, but ultimately what you create, like you kind of only create what you can. So like there's like a plan and then there's the actual brand. And then I feel like because of what I told you about like how I was doing this to be an artist and like my other stuff, but then the moving to Vietnam part was getting a lot of attention online. A lot of the people working with me and helping me were like, oh, okay, now's a good time to post this kind of video or this kind of video. And a lot of it was like logistical, how to move to Vietnam. And I was like, I am not 100% sure that's like my message though. Also, won't I just like, I don't know. That's not, I don't know. I'm trying to see if I should be open minded to like creating that kind of content and still being an artist, or if I'm like onto something by being like, that's not really like my potential, you know? Like, also, I feel like the type of people from that I'm really getting along with are not really or I don't know that they're at the point where they're looking at logistics of how to move here, if that makes sense. I feel like they're just watching travel things. Oh, hello. May I please ask a question? Yes, of course. A tarot question or just a. Oh, and about the seminars, the girls almost always want to apologize or take back their point if another comes up. And if they disagree, they will frame it in a super non confrontational way. I love how you're like responding to that in such a cool way. I'm like helping the girlies heal that. Do you find they have like a negative reaction sometimes to not being able to? What do you want from your YouTube channel? I guess is the question, right? Yes. But I think the bigger question is like, what do I want from my art too? And then like seeing socials as part of my art, but then also knowing it's like a separate thing that like, yeah. Is my flat free of negative energy? Ooh, that's a good question. And I feel like you could probably answer it without the cards because I have my own method. And how does this go? Basically, I believe in ghosts and spirits and I get spooked. But whenever I encounter something that spooks me, I don't know. I kind of treat it like a person. This is gonna sound crazy. But okay. I have this theory. I have these insights and theories that I really fucking believe in, which is like everything is vibrational and spiritual in a certain way. So it might not be a spirit of a human or a dead person or something like that, but there is an energy going on, and that's how I can feel an emotion. So the other day I was here and it was really late and my boyfriend wasn't here, and there was a sound of a key jingling like where the bathroom is, and no one was on that side of the room, and outside people were like far away, and I heard it. And I knew like if I checked the thing, like the cameras, that I would hear it again. And I knew no one was there. And I feel like I was a little scared, but I also was kind of just like, it's a person. But then I feel like, okay, there's all these things of like haunted houses, whatever, and you can act like they're crazy and whatever. But I think that if people are getting scared in a haunted house and then things keep happening and they keep scaring each other and more shit happens and that fear builds up, you don't have to believe in ghosts to like feel the fear. So it's still a negative energy, you know? So I feel like if you're experiencing a lot of negative energy in your place, it could be yours. But like, I feel like you can answer it. Yeah, I'll ask the cards for you. Wait, let me put them all back. I can't tell if I'm someone that would like survive a scary movie or if I would die first. But I'd probably try to talk to the ghost and be like, but come on, you're a good one. Okay, does the Minimalist Theater 333, my favorite number, by the way, have a negative spirit in her flat? Or is her flat free of a negative energy? Ooh, that was a good one. 7 of Cups. He looks peaceful if you look at him. The middle way. Balance, opportunity, hope, and choice. Balance, opportunity, hope, and choice. Huh. Balance, opportunity, hope, and choice. I'm getting that there are things that you can do to clear up the energy more, but that it's not like bad. You don't need to move. Like maybe get some like Palo Santo and like have like a ritual for yourself when you come in and leave. I may ask again as my internet is spotty. Okay. Let me know if you got that. We have a seminar rule that you must say, I disagree with that because I do think it's quite sad that they feel they must mute their own opinion for the sake of social harmony. Wait, that's so true. Wait. You give me such insights, Tom. I'm thinking about, you might need to say it again. My internet went out. Okay, I'll say it after this. I'm thinking about what you're saying and how whenever I date a heterosexual man, I feel like this conflict arises about what we're talking about, where I have to mute not just my opinion or mask, I have to mask in some way, in a way that I was socialized to, or I feel that way. And then some conflict arises in which I expect this person to understand more about that than they can or do. maybe they can, but I just had some expectation that they would understand and be working for me to help not like help not hold myself back in that way. And then the conflict will resolve, but I feel that I've always tried to push for some sort of implementation of a rule, like you're saying. Like we have to do this when we're arguing like that because it will make it easier for me to express yada yada. But now I'm like, what if I just like, I don't know. What if I exercise like I disagree? I don't like this. And what if I was just this really bitchy woman? That would be awesome. I'm not that repressed. Like I'm pretty comfortable speaking up in a relationship, but it just gave me this thought of like, whoa, sometimes the man, you in this case, is doing something because they see and they care. But we're still held back by whatever it is. We still feel like we have to like quiet ourselves. So, okay. Wait, minimalist, are you there? I can type it for you. 7 at minimalist. Oh my God, this is so fun. Where is it? Is my flat free negative energy? You got 7 of Cups, BB. You can also look these up. ChatGPT is a fun tarot reader. 7 of Cups, balance, opportunity, hope, and choice. To me, this means you're probably fine, but you have more control over you also probably have more control over the energy in your space. Oh wow, you can't type that much. Energy in your space. Then you think, sorry. So I should do nothing? Oh, wait, no. I do think I would personally create more rituals for yourself. Palo Santo, sage, tarot even, incense, rituals that connect you to the energy of your space and help create a feeling of home that you want. Ugh, I love reading tarot for others. It just helps me so much with my own feelings and energies. And I never thought I would be like this. Isn't that funny? I was like not a spiritual girly. And then one day, I don't know. I think I was just like, I was on someone else's live stream. This girl, she's awesome. And I had no idea what tarot was, but I was just feeling her vibe so much. And she loves to do love readings. That's where she's most comfortable. And I would just feel so lovey-dovey after her thing. So I just watched it every day. And then one day I was like, hey, I'm going to get a tarot deck. And then I found these and they spoke to me right away because they're Buddhist and I love them. And every day since then. Yeah, I think so. When I do love readings, it always comes back to yourself, your relationship with yourself. But yeah, a lot of people do romantic readings. They are my favorite to give other people for some reason. I think it's because I have a very optimistic outlook and I can tap into those emotions easily. And obviously, I think purpose, money, finances, career, and love are like a lot of the general, maybe friendship too, is the stuff that maybe people seek alternative forms of help for. And I think that love is a tough one to change your outlook on because it's not like your career or like money, even where once you have certain accolades, they can go on your resume and you keep them for life in a certain way. I feel like love is like really different in that way, where like you could have a lot of accomplishments but actually be single later or not get to keep them. And I think when you get brokenhearted, especially young, you're less aware of like the beliefs that develops. And then I love to give people love readings because I feel very able to tap into the hope that I have and just the knowing that I have that they will get what they want and that they can experience the love they want in their life. Will my Vivo phone be fixed and you open tomorrow? My name is Praki. What? I love that I can react to my own chat too. Not sure what you mean by that, but I can pull a card for you anyway. Will Praki's Vivo phone be fixed? And will I stream tomorrow? Probably gonna stream unless something comes up. Not gonna fix your phone if you think that that's what this is. 9 of Cups. Interesting. He's sitting in the rain. He looks very peaceful. I feel like it's giving if you're patient, you will fix your phone. You writing by mistake. Don't know what you mean. Gonna have to elaborate. 9 of Cups. Oh, I lied to you. Fulfillment, satisfaction, wish fulfillment, gratitude. Your phone will be fixed for sure. Oh, writing you by mistake. Okay. How do you accidentally write into a live stream, a YouTube live stream? But that's funny. Oh, maybe he's like writing into like some phone store's live stream. But good luck with that. Your wish will be fulfilled. This is so sick. Your smile, just wow. Oh, thank you. I know my teeth are very straight, huh? Wait, I need to integrate that other thing that we talked about, Tom. The thing about over apologizing. From that, I am getting like, no one is coming to save me. There's no Tom that's gonna make a rule for me in life. So I have to do it. And we're gonna start by, wait, what was the rule? I disagree with this, or like just not apologizing for what I think. And like, ooh, this is good for me with content. because I have this thing where like I'll make a fire video, but then when I know it's posted, it starts to become more agreeable, and I don't know why. And now I know why. And so, God, how do I? Maybe I make a similar Tom type rule for my own content. But it's hard to. It's not like I actively apologize. It's like maybe I have to pretend that I am just sending it to one person. Wait, that could actually work. Like my friend, who I'm very unfiltered to. I am Indian. I love India and Indian people and Indian food and Indian culture. My great friend from India actually just landed in Vietnam and is coming down the coast, and I'm gonna attack him so hard when he's down here. Whew. Yeah, it is a good idea. I think I need like a follow-up thing though for when I start getting comments that are like not, or are maybe people disagreeing with me. Oh my God, this is such a wait. We are unpacking so much. Okay. There is a specific topic actually that I need to work through with this. It's the one that got me viral. Oh my God, it makes so much sense that I have to work through this stuff to like keep going and like pushing stuff out. Okay. Oh my God, my throat chakra. Okay. I know that my opinion deserves to be heard. And my whole life, I've been expressing my art identity through my art. And so a lot of that is about being Vietnamese and just like what this all is for me. But it was hard to express even that identity because a lot of people will disagree. People who are not Vietnamese, but also people who are Vietnamese are like, you know what I mean? Like your own family watching you, your art, or other Viets being like, oh, that's not true and stuff. And so when I did go viral online on Instagram with this video, it was a video about me moving to Vietnam. And it was, I mean, it was a likable video, kind of like this attitude of like, come on, like Vietnam's on the up and up and stuff. But I was a little like uncomfortable too, because I don't think everyone should just move to Vietnam, like, first of all. And I don't even think all Vietnamese people should, in the sense that it's not like it's the reason it solved all my problems, you know? And I just wanted to make sure I wasn't putting that out. And then I started to kind of express that, but then I got a lot of dissent, both from non-Vietnamese people and actual Vietnamese people who were like, fuck you, man. Like, you are so privileged. You're basically like a Western person now, and da-da-da-da. And then it kind of scared me into like speaking about our diasporic story for us and like not capturing all those perspectives. But then at the same time, this is about my perspective. And also that same thing has held me back from producing the art I wanted to produce kind of my whole life. Oh my God, Tom! And so like, okay, I'm gonna think about like the friends that I have that that they know what I think and I can speak freely with them when I create a video. But then when I post it, and if I get a hate comment or somebody saying that I'm wrong about it, I have to be prepared with not, yes, it's the rule you made maybe of not apologizing. I respect their opinions. They're totally fine, but it's like, I don't want to like shrivel because of that. Liked by everyone, loved by none, never a good spot, much better to be hated and loved. I think I should, because those who would hate me, like, they should hate me. Diasporic experience has a double vision afforded to very few nationals. Yeah. Yeah. It's also it's other people who have a different diasporic vision too. But like, I've already like broken free from so much of that track that they like want to see it as. I don't need to cater like my whole life to them. So, you're right. Okay. Lots of integration. Wow. The experience can never be linear, literally or metaphorically, so I wouldn't worry about who disagrees with you if you know you're being honest to your experience, and that's all that matters, right? Whoa, that's so true. I've always felt like, too, I'm such a timeline artist, like futurism, deep past, alternative history, like my childhood wounds, my dream life, that it's not linear anyway. And that's cool to like lean into that strength that I have, because it's totally true that at a different point in history, things become more true or understood or not. And most artists, I'd say, actually, no, a lot of artists that I look up to were not successful in their time. I don't think I need to like expect that, but like there's something to it. I also am an architect, and I feel like architects are also like timeline artists or contextual artists in a way, where like they're just thinking of the timeline of their art so far they're ahead, like 100 years. Yeah, we're even dead sometimes when our art is finished, that like it doesn't really matter what the lay people say. Hmm. I'm flattered because I'm going to be stealing a lot of things from you, actually. Lit major. What is your favorite book as a lit major? Or if that's too big of a question, is there something you would recommend for me to read right now? Oh my God, the rain is getting harder and harder, and I'm getting more and more concerned about how I'll get home. A Passage to India is my favorite novel of all time. What a coincidence! Vibe Mesh Edits was our passage to India. Can I get a tarot read? Yeah, girl! Okay, I'm gonna look it up after this, Tom. Based on what we're discussing, maybe Nervous Conditions by Tsitsi Danjo. Ooh, sounds good. Yes, you can. Okay. Any specific question or area of life? Or you just want me to intuitively pull cards? Is that all of them? My name is Siraj. I am a boy. Oh, sorry. Siraj, what message can I tell you through this stream and through these cards? I've been getting such good cards on this. What's something that Siraj needs to hear? Ooh. 8 of Wands. Do you have a relationship with tarot yourself? Oh, it's moving so much. So, sorry. Sometimes I like to ask people what they see and how this card, this image makes them feel, anything that it brings up for them. Eight of Wands. Ceremony, displacement, action, alignment, change. Ceremony, displacement, action, alignment, change. I love this card because sometimes when there's a change taking place or I get displaced in a certain way, it can be uncomfortable if I'm not ready for it. But when I am ready for it and I am ready to make a change, change turns into something that was scary, or turns from something that was scary into something that creates alignment and something that you can make an action towards. And so part of like me doing that is having a ceremony for myself. Like if there would be, or treating something like a ceremony, like if something that is going to happen that will bring change and I know it stresses me out, I would see it as like some sort of coming of age or a rite of passage for myself to get to like the change or the alignment that I have. Aww. I am a boy. My name is Siraj. Tell me Harmon's energy for me. She's my ex-girlfriend. We are in contact. Nowadays, I am thinking a lot about my ex-girlfriend. That's so real. Do you guys have a good connection, or is it like kind of hard right now? Because I've always envied people that could stay friends with their ex. I always romanticized it. I never wanted to let go of somebody that I once loved so much, but I've never been able to do it. And I don't think that's universal. I think some people can do it, but I'm always just like amazed at those stories. You love dice work readings. Anything by Say, Dubois, and Spivak. You might love Things Fall Apart too. I have read that. I did love it. That's only 150 pages, but I would say it's a very masculine novel, hence my hesitancy. That's okay. I love masculinity. I felt like that was, that was one that really helped me observe the parts of masculinity that I sometimes overlook. But I appreciate you trying to cater to what you know I like, how you know I am. Okay, Harmon's getting mixed vibe from her. That's why I'm confused about her energy. Ah, that's such a classic. Yeah, I feel like when do you ever, well, that's my limiting belief, and I don't want to limit you with it, but I feel that when you're not together, but you're in contact, it's almost all, even that like phrase is a mixed feeling, you know? Because then why aren't you together? But let's see what she's into, or let's see what the cards have to say about her. How is Harmon? Ooh, it's not bad. It's just an interesting image. That's Harmon. Harmon? Harmon? Harmon. Four of Cups. Ooh, contemplation. She's thinking. meditation, reassessment, hermit, spiritual journey. Okay, wait. I don't normally feel like strong impulses about like people who aren't in the reading with me, but I feel like for this, I really feel like it, like the truths I'm about to drop are accurate for Harmon too, where I think the most that you can do for her is not interrupt this part of her spiritual journey. And that doesn't mean like have no contact with her, but make sure that your spiritual journey and her spiritual journey comes before whatever else your guys' friendship might have right now. Because I think that she's probably giving you mixed signals because she's reassessing her place in your life and your place in her life, and thinking about the same things you're thinking about, if I had to guess. And it says hermit and spiritual journey too, and the guy looks pretty frigged. So it's giving like when you're in a hermit part of your spiritual journey, you need to like conserve your energy for yourself. And that's probably what's happening right now, is like you're getting like, sometimes you get her energy, sometimes you don't, because she's like hermiting and growing. And I feel like the most you can do is respect that and appreciate that and treat it like a something sacred, because it is. But then you have to do the same for yourself. And I feel like if you guys can do that, how can that be a bad thing for your story, you know? Whenever I try to convince her, she denies reconciliation, but when I try to move away, she stops me. Okay, that's what I expected. So should I contact her normally or follow no contact? Okay. Let me think. So I've been in this position too many times. And I think besides my intuitive understanding, I also educated myself about that, because I was confused by my own energy when I was ending relationships. And sometimes I would reach out to them and want the connection. And sometimes I'd be like, go away, like, this isn't supposed to happen. And so I think that, okay, what I learned from that was that it's part of a disorganized attachment style, which in psychology kind of means you're using different coping mechanisms to handle what's going on between you. So sometimes you want to feel the love, so that's going to help. So like, oh, come convince me to be in love again. And then sometimes the love hurts, so you don't want that, and you're like, actually go away, like, I don't know. And then when you feel, especially when a woman feels really unsafe, you're going to get a lot of that. So at the very worst, it could be like, fuck you, leave, and also don't leave me. And I think the utmost priority, and you're going to know best because you know her and you also know yourself and your relationship. You know what problems you guys are having. The best that you can do for that is to show her that whatever she needs is a safe option with you. If she needs space, that's okay. That's okay. But you're here to call like as soon as, because you want to reconcile, but like, you know that she doesn't want that, but you'll wait. Like, I think that just being honest about your energy, but also focusing it on yourself is the best that you can do. Because it doesn't feel good to be the other person either, giving mixed signals. And like, I think if you're in this dynamic, let's like stop and go dynamic, that you should wait until she reaches out to you next, and then have a response prepared to let her know, hey, I have mixed signals from you because of this, but I let her know where you're at. like, I want this, but I understand why you have mixed feelings about that, and I will just wait until you're ready. If you feel like you can't provide that kind of safety yet, you need to figure out that for yourself, if that makes sense. I told her that I will wait for you. It doesn't matter how much time you take. Okay. So you told her the truth. I told her that I want to be with you. Aww. I feel this. Wait, Tom, I appreciate all those recs though. I'm gonna look at them. Like, they sound sick. I'm gonna give you a fuller. Okay, what should Tom do? Or not Tom, sorry, Siraj, regarding his dynamic. Because even before I see what the cards say, ooh, I know that your task at hand is to turn the energy back into yourself as you wait for her, so that like you become the person that you want to be the next time you're in a relationship, no matter what, no matter whether it's with her or not. You have that work to do. So yeah, it's a lot of energy that goes into like a situationship or an on and off again relationship. And I don't think hope is lost, but I think the task is finding a way to put that energy back into yourself. But while we were talking, I pulled the Page of Pentacles, Guardian of Spirituality, Positive Manifestations, Learning from Failure. Okay, this is like perfect to what I'm talking about, because I feel like Guardian of Spirituality, I feel like my spiritual journey also became very strong through my broken hearts and stuff. And I sense the same thing as you're like asking for the cards for something when you're in the state. So it's the plus of that is it's opening up this side of yourself, a more spiritual side of yourself that's going to seek answers and find meaning and like create things in your life, like finding this answer. And so when I see this and it says Guardian of Spirituality, I feel like that's your task at hand now. You're your guardian of your own spiritual journey, and you have to treat that with sacredness, not just when you're brokenhearted or when you don't get what you want, but all the time. And that you can create from this a positive manifestation, which in your highest hope would be to be back with her. But if that doesn't work out, you can still create a positive manifestation. And that will be like, who are you going to become from this? And what life are you going to lead after this? You know? And then the last one, learning from failure. That would essentially be what this is. If you became a better person from this, if you grew, if you created something positive, no matter what, from your heartbreak, this heartbreak would not be a failure per se. Like, it would be something good for you towards your goal, whether you get her back or not, if that makes sense. She told me, just relax, leave everything on God, don't overthink about things. Things will settle automatically when time arrives. Hey, how did that make you feel? I have to go now, playing some badminton. I hope you have a great rest of the stream, Meej, and best of luck, Suraj. I hope the tarot reading helps. You're so sweet. See you. Have fun playing badminton. Yeah, I have learned a lot from my mistakes. I confessed everything. I swear to her to give another chance to this relationship. Everything will be fine. Yeah. Okay. I think you're at a powerful position. And a lot of men have told me about this. This is like the time for you to glow up at the gym and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I think that what you guys it can be okay. Like, you can get this back, but I don't think getting it back will happen from convincing her. It's going to be about you. There has to be a change inside you because she already loves you as you are. I like from her response, and I think she already has hope that this change inside you will happen. But you should not see the change as conditional love because this is going to make you who you want to be, or it could if you let it. Yeah. Okay. I think you can do this. I think you got this because wait, I pulled another card too. 6 of Swords. Oh my god. I love when the cards are like spitting truths. I pulled this. You see them? Oh, 6 of Swords. Transition, change, rite of passage, release of emotional baggage. Okay, so I'm not seeing an ending here, but I see a transition, you know? The change that has to take place inside you. You don't need her around asking you to change, to actually change, if you know what I mean. I also think this is a rite of passage for every man and every woman because in the end, a lot of guys feel not enough when they're broken up with for reasons that they know they need to change. But I have a feeling that they want to be loved and accepted as they are. But I feel like the rite of passage for men is in wanting to change for you and not just to get what you want, to get the money, to get the girl, to get whatever. It's like, actually, do you want to be, what kind of life do you want to have? Do you want to be a good person? Do you want to feel like, what do you want to feel? Do you want to feel things? Like, do you want to know yourself more so that you can know others more? Or like, whatever it is that you feel that your woman is trying to get out of you, like, I feel like it's a rite of passage for a man to start taking that steps on his journey on his own. And for a woman, it's a rite of passage to say no. Like, actually, I'm not going to just accept this, like, at my own expense. So, you know, we can have, so what she's going through is good for your relationship as well, because she's setting a boundary with you. There's something that's not okay. And she's still open for you. Like, she's still like in contact with you. But I think a sign that you would be understanding that more would be investment of that energy into yourself. And I think she's going to see that, you know, she knows you too. So she will know, like, she will know when you're starting to make a change, and she will know when you're trying your best. And if she's right for you, you trying your best would be enough. You don't have to be perfect, but you just have to try, and you have to want that change from inside. A few days ago, I was drunk and I sent her a lovely voice message. She told me to go relax. I understand this. I have done this too. I've done both. I've been the one sending a drunk message, and I've been the one like, yo, relax. Both of us were loyal to each other, but because of misunderstanding, I disrespected her. Because of her, she broke up with me and blocked me everywhere. But after 1 year later, my request, she unblocked. Oh, hey, that's cool. I mean, that means there's been some time. Okay. Okay. So you've had time. Let me ask you honestly, do you feel like you've made a change in that time? Do you think that you're the man that she deserves? You know? Like, ask yourself for real though. What's coming towards me? Can I ask next? Yes. Cinderella. I'm gonna put these all back. I felt that change inside me. Okay. Okay. That's good. I think if you've changed, convincing her that you've changed still doesn't really have a place, because if she can't see it without convincing, she's probably not going to see it, you know? And if you've really changed and she's willing to see that, it's going to show. So I think patience is going to be key for you. But Cinderella, ooh. What's next for you? I got two, and I love them already. Ace of Cups and the Moon. Ace of Cups. I've been getting this one a lot too. Where is it? Balance, natural harmony, love, new relationships, compassion, empathy. Soak this one up too, Siraj. It doesn't have to be like, it could be a new relationship with yourself too. And then the Moon, which, like, the Moon, before I even read my book, is one of my favorite cards right now, because I feel like I am also developing my connection with the Moon and myself as a woman in general, where the Moon in tarot and in symbolism represents the unconscious or the subconscious or dreams or nighttime or kind of like the non-physical, the things that you cannot see, like feelings, thoughts, intuition, receptive spirituality, the occult, all that. And look at her vibes. She looks so free. And I feel like specifically for women in our relationship to the Moon, because of our cycle, I'm getting like a great chapter is coming for you of all good things: compassion, empathy, natural harmony, balance, love, new relationships. But there's like an added depth to it where, like, it's not just like blissful good times. You're also connected to yourself. You're growing. You're spiritual. You're not denying the depth of life. Like, you're connected to that. Or maybe the next chapter is about that connection and developing it. And so if there are things you struggle with, or emotions, or just like maybe you need to go to therapy or things like that, don't see it as a bad thing, because a connection to your subconscious mind and a deeper understanding of yourself is always going to make your life better. You know what I mean? Wait, let me read you the Moon though too. This is why it's my favorite. Cosmic mother of all Buddhas. She represents the energy of compassion and mercy. Receptivity, intuition, visions, unveiling the occult, unity through love, sea, ocean, search for maternal love, an ideal to be reached. The cool thing about this, though, and why I love this card so much, is I feel like before a woman goes through, I don't know if you're a woman. I just kind of assumed. Cinderella Rudzinski. But even if you're not a woman, though, your connection to your feminine energy and to the feminine energies in your life is very important. So I love this card lately, because I think before you have this like spiritual connection or understand these things, or you're open to this kind of information, the stuff that the Moon represents feels very scary. People have a very negative stigma of therapy. They're afraid of their like unconscious attachments and emotions. They have trauma. There are feelings we don't understand. Sometimes feelings get out of control. But like in this list of what my book says the Moon, I love that it puts the sea, the ocean, unity through love, because I have also come to connect with that side of things in a positive way, because I see like our emotional experience and our emotions and those inner things as like an ocean that is very beautiful, and it can be scary, but if you're open to it, it's a whole other part of the world. So I love that for you because it's a more invincible type of security. Anyway, yeah, I felt that change. I feel more emotionally mature. Okay. Are you a psychiatrist? No, do not think that. I'm not a psychiatrist. This is not medical advice. This is not even professional advice. But I am a witch. So I told her that I will only marry her if I don't get you. I will wait and remain unmarried. Is that true though? Okay. It sounds like she allows you in because you're able to like talk to her. Well, I guess she unblocked your request or she unblocked you. But your energy is not giving to me yet that okay. It doesn't mean you haven't changed, but if I were her, I would feel a bit skeptical just because you're trying to convince me. Like a man who's really changed doesn't need to convince. He just is, and you see it, and you like the change, and you get back together with him. But like, if you're trying to convince me you have, and like, you know what I mean? So all you have to do, because she's still letting you in. So I feel like you guys are kind of okay. It's been a year and stuff. So I feel like you got to give the energy of just knowing it and being patient and knowing where she's at and being like, hey girl, that's okay with me. You don't want to talk this time? That's okay. I'll wait another year. It's fine. And then be about it if you can wait. But like, I don't know. Are you sure that that's really like, hmm. Mm. I think that time is your friend because I think at this point you've made yourself clear. So if she sees the change, she will approach you. I'm certain of it. And your job is to become as confident as I am about it. That if she sees the right change, she will pursue you and she'll let you know. You don't have to let her know anymore. But um, if you can't do that, then each chance that you feel like you can't do that is another opportunity to work on it, if you know what I mean. Yes, I think so. I think you should remain calm for sure. I think if you're expressing, like, if you're upset with her because of her boundaries, this is another sign that you could probably work on yourself in that department because boundaries are not supposed to, they're supposed to make a relationship better. They're supposed to help, they're not supposed to harm. So if you're reacting negatively to her boundaries in any way, that would be a signal for her that things are not safe yet to be myself. You know what I mean? And I know you might not be reacting negatively, but it's clear that like you don't understand her yet, and that's okay. I subscribe to you. Yeah. Yeah, come back tomorrow. You know what? Come back and tell me how it goes because I'm rooting for you. I think you can do this. But I think that you also may want to reflect a little bit on your feelings for her, because I think your feelings for her are real. But when you say that you will not marry anyone else if she doesn't marry you, is that coming from a place of truth? I would hope that, you know, that you don't have to do that. You know what I mean? Because that, it sounds to me more like convincing somebody than like truth, you know? And also, as like a third party from your life who doesn't know you, I think you deserve love. I think if she says no to you, that you still deserve to find somebody who says yes to you. You know what I mean? I will connect with you on Insta. Yay! You can also get a personal one on the link in my bio in Insta, but you can also connect with me. I like Instagram more. Thank you so much. Oh my God, you're welcome. I'm happy it helped you. Like I'm actually happy for you too, because I think you're in a great place. Like it's been a year, so your heart's not like and like she just opened up, so you might feel like, a little bit like, oh, I need to convince her, but you actually don't. You already survived like a year. You made some changes. You will make more, and she will see it over time now that you're not blocked. Oh wait, you're still blocked, but I wish she thinks like you. Hey, it took a lot. It took a lot of kissing frogs to think like me. And it took a lot of on and off again relationships and learning my worth. And I think she's onto it too, since she's like putting something up. And I think you are too. Oh my gosh. Thank you to the 2 people watching. I love you so much. Suraj, I won't forget this because I plan on blowing my pages up, and I'll remember the guy that I gave a tarot reading to. Lots of love. Good luck. See you guys next time.